Welcome to the home of good news. It's Stories Untold. My name is Pule Mulebati. Thank you for joining us today. We're spending the next couple of days in Eldorado Park, where we get to know a little bit more about the great foundation called Sharlene's Heart for People. Now, they run a feeding scheme. We all know that apart from crime, Eldorado Park is one of the communities in South Africa that faces high rate of unemployment and lack of access to resources. Now, let's see how this great initiative is able to assist the community there.
In a tough economic climate, there is a vast and growing need for someone to fill the gaps of need that are created every single day. Lack of employment and work opportunities force many in South Africa's communities to seek out help to sometimes feed and clothe their families. The community of Eldorado Park in Johannesburg is no different. Plagued with many social ills, children and their parents alike survive on social programs that aim to help. One such organization is Sharlene's Heart for People. Started by Sharlene a few years ago, we sat down with her to find out more about her heart for Eldorado's people.
I'm the founder of the foundation called ShFP, which stands for Sharlene's Heart for People. With a dream. I know many people don't believe it when I say it, but I had a dream like 3 years ago. God said to me, I need to go to Kliptown and I need to go and hand out clothing. And when I woke up, the first thought was, where am I going to get clothes to give people? And I had a prayer warrior at the time, and I consulted her, and she said to me, I need to be obedient. And I posted, and I was asking people for clothing donations. I went on the 27th of November, 2021. I went to Kliptown to hand out these clothings, and it was a disaster because not a lot of people got clothing, and we never had food, we never had anything. We just went with clothes there. And as we were about to leave, a little boy walked up to me, and when I looked down, like literally his heel was over the shoe, and I looked and there was nothing. We never had anything to give this little boy. And I looked at him with tears in my eyes, and I said to him, I'm coming back, and I promise you I'm coming back. And then I came home. I was so despondent. I felt like I failed, because not that I had a purpose, because it only started, but I never thought that the day would start or end like this. And on the 16th of December, that same year in 2021, we went back. Our garage was packed with clothing. We had toys, we had food parcels, we had foods, we had party packs, we had everything. And I remember this boy walking up to me, and he looked at me and he said, Auntie, you said you're coming back, and you really came back. And we were so fortunate, because then we had like 3 pairs of sneakers to bless him with on that day.
That first experience of helping someone put a fire in her heart to be a beacon of hope for those in need.
I remember one day, there's also another, like not a feeding scheme, but like a feeding center in our area. So I went to fetch my son at school, and I saw these little kids being chased away because they were not registered. So they said to these little ones, no, I can't give you food, your mommy needs to come and register you. And for me as a parent, it was sad, because kids don't understand, why can't I have or why can't I get? So myself and a friend of mine started cooking. But we started cooking off in our house spots. Like, we would feed 10 to 15 kids a day. We literally used to sit outside on the grass and call these kids when they walk past and offer them something to eat. So it started off by 10 or 15 kids, and then later adults used to come and ask something to eat, and if there was any extra, we used to share. And then I started posting what we're doing. I registered the organization, and 3 years later we're feeding over 100 people a day.
Even though many are inspired and called to serve their communities, it is sometimes an arduous road that comes with many obstacles, battles and hurdles, and it may cause some projects to end even before they start.
Our first encounter that we had, where I felt like I'm shutting the doors, was when they broke into here and they stole all our pots. And it was guys that comes out every day to come and fetch food, but they came and stole the pots. And I just broke down. It broke me, because I was like, I'm not doing this for me or my family, I'm doing this for you guys, and this is what you do. But then for a minute I sat and I realized that when I made a commitment to God that I'm going to do this, God never said that it was going to be easy. God never said that the path was just going to go smooth. So these are obstacles that we face. We get every day. There's a challenge that you face while feeding. Someone will come to the feed, they grab the plate of food out of your hand, they complain about the food, they want more food, they're just never happy. But what I've taught my team, what I've installed in my team, one of our values at the organization, I said, this is a business that we're running. And these people that come and get food are our clients. So we need to try at all cases to keep them happy, because we can cook pots and pots of food, but if you don't have people that's comfortable to come and get food from you, how are you going to say the work that you're doing in the community is good when you have to now throw away food? Or I must now say to the team, no, you take for your family and I take. So that's one thing. There's a lot of negativity that we face. People come and take clothing, and then you'll hear tomorrow someone says to you, that person went and sold the clothing. But I've learned something. I've said to myself and the team, it's how we gave it to them. As long as our hearts are open and we bless them, what they go and do with it is upon them. So it's really, really not easy, because you get sometimes they're under the influence of drugs or alcohol. So now there's always a rattle going on now. They'll fight to be in the queue. It's just, every day there's a challenge that we face with them.
The challenges don't stop there, because keeping their doors open to continue serving food daily is also a constant battle.
So currently it's challenging because we don't have any sponsorship from companies. It's mostly my friends and family that supports. I'm grateful for Facebook, I must say, because every day when I do a feed, somehow, somewhere, someone will reach out, whether it's donate 100 Rand, whether it's dropping off a bag of rice or a bag of potatoes, and it really helps. It does help a lot. But the thing is now, our biggest challenge now is we can't budget. We could say today that we're preparing a meal for 100 people, but we don't know what the turnout's going to be. And it breaks my heart knowing that when someone comes and you have to say to them, I'm sorry, the food is finished. Or now I would go in the house and I would prepare a sandwich. But it's still not the same, because now sometimes there's 20 or 30 people that never got food, and now I'm in no position to cater for that 20 or 30 people from my household. So if we could have more sponsors, we could cook more. We had an incident the other day where we could only feed 5 adults because the kids was so much. We hardly knew some of the kids, especially now when the school is open. The high school kids that maybe walks down to Slovo or to Kliptown, they would stop and wait for that plate of food before they walk home. So it's very, very difficult, and if we could get the needed help, we'd really appreciate it. We're not asking for money. We're asking for any non-perishable items, any vegetables, anything that could just burden our stress at the end of the day. One of our biggest challenges that we are currently facing is gas. We use a lot of gas, so that comes out of my pocket at this stage. But we trust in God, because you know what, there was not a day that we could say we could not give people food. You know, so I'm grateful to God, and I'm grateful to everybody that has supported us up until today, that has made it so easy and so possible. Although despite the challenges that we are currently facing, but we blessed being knowing that every day we are able to provide a meal.
Those who choose to live a life of service may find it a lonely road with little personal support and no one to assist with their vision and goals. But Sharlene's story is different. Surrounded by a hive of strong female supporters, she says she is not short of support and people to lean on.
You know what, I thank God for these ladies standing here, because if it wasn't for them, I don't think 3 years later we were going to stand, because it gets difficult. I'm a single mom of 3 kids, so I need to juggle life between my kids. I need to juggle life between seeing that everything is sorted here, making sure that there's ingredients to cook tomorrow, making sure that when someone asks for help, the help is there, you're able to assist. I've had many moments, I'm not even gonna lie, I had many breakdowns where I cry. But when I cry, I hide myself away. I'm that type of person that when I do it silently. And I question God, and I'll be like, why did you choose me to do this? I'm so young, like, why me? But then I realized that God saw my strength, that I'm able to do this and I'm able to carry the community. And I thank God for my kids, because my kids has become very supportive. When I do feeds, my kids are always active and they support mommy, they understand. And I thank God that I was never told that you love the community more than you love us. At times, yes, I did feel like I do neglect my kids, because I would always want to do and want to give back to the community and forget about my own kids. But I thank God that my kids are understanding, they're supportive. But yeah, it's tough, you know what, I always say. And regarding the sponsors, this month you can have 20 people coming and dropping off things, and then for the next few months you have nobody that comes, because life, the economy stage is so bad out here that everybody, whether you're employed or unemployed, people are facing their own challenges each and every month. So you can't even get upset when you reach out to someone and ask for help, because you know it's difficult. So despite challenges and everything that we have gone through, I thank God for His grace. I thank God for this team. Like I said to you, I could never think that almost going for 4 years now, on the 27th of November, we will be celebrating our 4th birthday anniversary. And when I look back how we started and where we are today, I can only thank God. And I'm very proud of myself and of my team, because it takes a lot of hard work. When we do the Christmas feeds, we don't know what it is to sleep. So Christmas Eve, we don't sleep up until Christmas to do the feed. Like last year Christmas, and the ladies will tell you, none of us had family with a lunch with our families, because it took a lot. And a lot of people always fight with me and say, what about your kids? So what I've learned, so that I don't feel like a bad mommy, I involve my kids in the feed. So whether I'm going to say to my daughter, you're going to pour juice, or say to my son, you're going to make the party packs for them, just that they feel that there was some type of family time between us.
Sharlene singama neighbor. Yeah, so kushuthi ngabona ukuthi wenza into eso. Ngazitshela ukuthi ngoba angisebenzi, ngumuntu ohlala ekhaya, ngathi at least ithi ngincedise nami ukuthi ngizikhiphe busy, so kude way. And ngoba vele mina ngiyathanda ukusebenza ngabantu and ibhodo ngiyalithanda. Yeah, that's why. Kungikhulise kakhulu. Ngoba angisakhoni nokuhlala, ngiyenza sure ukuthi ekseni ngiqeda umsebenzi wami yimi engicalayo la. Thole sometimes ngibathola abalele bavuswa yimi. Bese ngize ngizoyenza umsebenzi wami. From there bese khona ngachubeka ngezinto zami ezinye.
Sharlene is my friend and neighbor, and then I always used to come here. So one day she told me about a dream she had. So I'm with Sharlene with the foundation, like from the beginning.
Even though she stood by Sharlene, she admits the start for her was rather rocky.
Are you mad? Where are we gonna get clothes? How are we gonna give people food and things like that? Yeah, but then she started posting, and then we went to Kliptown for the first time. And that day I told her, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm out. Because it breaks your heart when you see people, the need and stuff, so yeah.
But the bug had already hit, and almost 4 years later, she says she is happy she stayed.
It's such a nice feeling to help people. It's such a nice feeling. Yeah, it's very nice. It's a nice feeling. I'm a single mom, and I know the struggles I have at home. So helping someone else, it makes you feel so much better. Yeah.
I always saw statuses, and one day I told her I won't mind to come in, and I won't mind to be part of this, because I love what you're doing. Because this is a great achievement, and it's not everybody that can do this, and it's not everybody that is as strong as you, doing this for the community, especially for the children.
Sharlene's mother says she also had her doubts in the beginning, but had faith in the vision and has been an avid supporter ever since.
It was like she was saying the night when she got a dream. It's like I was the first one that she told, and then she said to me, "Hey, mommy, I had a dream, and I dreamed God said to me I must go and give out clothes." Then I just said to her, "Hi, how are you going to make it?" And then she says, "Hi, ek ken nie. Ek weet nie hoe gaan ek maak nie." Then she went up to this lady there up in the road, went to pray for her, and then came back, and then that's how when it started, and that's how I supported her from the beginning up to now. We always fight, and then I say, hey, I want to leave the feeding scheme because I'm tired. But still, shame, I help, I support her because she's at work. So the lady, the one that normally cooks, Rukaya, she cooks, she knows I'm busy in the house. Then if she's not here, I'll come and assist her because she knows Sharlene is working. I'm the only one in the house. So wherever sometimes I leave the housework, I come and I assist. We dish up in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. After that, we wash the pots and things, make sure the place is clean. I go in the house, then I must go cook and see to the house. But still, shame, I support it and I love what she's doing. Because I'm also like that now, becoming like the heart for, especially for the young ones, the little ones. I can't take it away from her. That's her dream, and then we must just support her as a family. Sometimes she doesn't, even if she don't have money, then she'll take from me, Mommy, hey, borrow me, I want to buy oil or what. We'll scratch me and Rukaya, hey, there's nothing today, we cook, I'll go see what we have in the cupboard. Rukaya will go by our house, go fetch oil, salt, whatever we need, but we make sure we won't cook. We'll cook and make sure there's a pot of food for the people to eat. So we won't say, Sharlene, hey, there was no oil, there was nothing, but we'll scratch and make sure that we must cook every day for the people.
The need for food grows steadily daily, and sometimes the team sadly cannot meet everyone's needs, and it sometimes takes an emotional toll on them.
Mawubheka la ngaphandle uyazi sometimes umuntu makeza azohlala la njengoba siphaka ngo4 ubona umuntu azohlala la from ngo1 amelu 4 uyazi ukuthi akulunganga kusho ukuthi umuntu lo uyayinida lento le. So we understand. So and kakhulu kithi ethina esiphekayo kubhlungu yazi kubhlungu njani ukujikisa umuntu umtshela ukuthi ukudla kuphelile. Nami ngike ngikwade uthole ngibuza sibuzana sithi wena unakudla okusele maybe lapha endlini siphe lo muntu so senza njalo. But sometimes uthola ukuthi asina. So fanele nje lo muntu ajike.
We need bigger pots now because now more kids are coming. The other day we had an instance where only 5 adults got food because there were so many more kids that came out. 80% of the time, every day when you do the feed, you see there's a new face that comes. Like I said, we don't just feed people where we're currently staying in Eldorado Park Extension 1. We've got people from Slovo Park coming. We've got people that comes from Freedom Park. We've got people that comes all over from Eldorado Park. So it's difficult to say that today I'm only cooking for 100 people. You don't know the turnout. And it's so sad to turn someone away and say, I'm sorry, the food is not enough. Because you don't know, especially if you hear someone saying to you, I walked from Kliptown. Then you tell yourself that obviously this person is really hungry, because I mean, who in your right mind would walk so far in this heat to go and fetch a plate of food knowing that you do have something in your house?
But they have hope that Sharlene's vision and dream will not die and fade away, but instead grow steadily and reach even more people in need of a helping hand.
Angifuni ukukhuluma amanga because you know ukudla always is not enough. Sometimes siyahlala sibamele mara ngiyakela lamabhodo azophela. So that's why ngifisa ngathi lento le engayakuthi abantu bakhona ukusiza ba donate. Asipheki ngokudla oku expensive njengenyama yini noma ama-veg, but still uyabona labantu mabakuthatha lokudla bakuthatha ngenhliziyo emhlophe and uyababona bayahlala la ngaphandle badla ukudla kwabo baphinde baze bazocela ukuthi singathola isamo mayikhona siyabapha. Mara njengoba ngikhuluma akusali abantu baningi enesenza sho ukuthi abantwana yibo abantu esibanakekela kakhulu ukudlula abantu abadala. Sometimes uthola ukuthi abantwana bayeza babaningi sicede ukubaphakela but still balokhu bayeza. So senza sho ukuthi abantwana yibo kuqala bathola ukudla before sipha abantu abadala bese khona sichubekayo.
Just hope that one day it will grow bigger and bigger, that maybe we'll get a bigger place, maybe like a center where we can have we can feed more people than what we are feeding here today. At home, it's plus minus 100, sometimes 120, sometimes 150. So we just hope that one day maybe God can provide us maybe with a bigger place like a center, then we can cook there and we can cook for the whole elders. We don't mind because we love cooking. We even cook sometimes for funerals, sometimes for when people ask us, so we're not lazy and we don't charge people for cooking.
I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I love what I see. I love what she's doing. I always praise her because not a lot of people have the heart what she has.
Because I see the people are struggling, unemployment is not so good whatsoever. The children is going to school without food most probably, and the mothers are unemployed, the fathers most probably. And you know, I don't want to talk related to this drug related things whatsoever, but these people here are doing a good job of helping the people because they provide most probably, say Monday to Thursday, they provide people with meal whatsoever, because some children are going to school hungry. And if you're hungry, then you can't understand what's going on because you can't listen or concentrate whatsoever. But these people are doing a lot of this is like an NGO something, but if most probably the government of the community, or most probably the council of Eldorado Park, can intervene and come into and help those people and most probably sponsor it, then I believe the situation will be solved whatsoever.
One of my main aims that I wish, or rather not wish, let me say I've been praying about, is for God to send help for us so that we can start providing lunch packs for the kids when they go to school, because a lot of our kids that comes to our feeding schemes, parents are either on substance, alcoholics, or unemployment. Things are just bad at home. So if we could really have the resources where we could say, whether it's just 2 slices of bread a day and a bottle of juice or a snack, but that's really something that I see myself doing in the near future. Something also that God has placed on my heart is, as much as I'm sure you guys would be aware that Elders is known for a lot of bad things that's going on here, but one thing that I always say that I would like Elders to have is a rehab center. As much as there's bad going on in our community, we can also show people that there's good that can come out of this. Because one of the challenges that we mainly face, a lot of the guys and ladies that comes to our feeding schemes are on substance. So now they become your family, because now they just don't come and get a plate of food. They reach out to you. So I've had instances where people will be like, you know what, Sharlene, I'm tired of this life. Can you please help me? Where we're gonna get 3,000 rand to send someone to a rehab. Now you get these free rehabs, but it's gonna take someone for 7 months to get the help that's needed. And we've lost a lot of people in our feeding scheme due to substance abuse. And it hurts because you would think that these people came out and they reached out to you for help. And at that time your hands were so tied, you didn't have any resources to help them. So one of my visions and goals is for ShFP to expand, not just with the feeding and with the clothing, but also to push, to assist with rehabilitation as well. You know what, when you see the kids that comes and fetches that food, when they look at you in your eyes and they say, thank you, auntie, or you look at an addict that you can see hasn't had anything to eat in days and they say, thank you, sister, that melts my heart. That's the best for me. I always say to people, I'm not rich in finances, but I'm rich with the smiles and the tummies that we have filled, because that's what warms my heart. And when you get someone in the street and they say to you, thank you so much for that plate of food, or when you get a mother that says to you, you know what, Sharlene, if it wasn't for you guys, I don't know what me and my kids was gonna have for supper. It's those things that keeps you going. It's not about money, it's not about fame, it's not about anything, but it's just knowing that you have a purpose. I always say, make one person happy a day, create one smile and fill one tummy, and then.
And just like that, we've come to the end of our show today. We hope that the initiative has inspired something within you to be of service to those that are around you. Remember, we can all be the change that we want to see in society. It usually just begins with one person who's brave enough to be that particular change that they want to see in their township, at work, or in your personal life. As for myself, and the Stories Untold team, let's do this again, same time, same place. Goodbye.